Carlos de la Vega, President of the Argentina Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Miguel Angel Capiello, Minister of Health of Santa Fe, Miguel Liftich, Mayor of the beautiful city of Rosario, dear Executive Vice President Michelle, and chairlady of this outstanding conference, dear Executive Vice President Kentaro, coming far away from Japan, and who's going to chair in very few weeks the ASPAC in Singapore, dear JCI officers, dear National President of JCI Argentina, dear National President, Chief Delegate, dear COC Director, my very good friend, Matthias. I came yesterday at 3:45 a.m. and this guy was in the airport waiting for me, smiling with his wonderful team. Thank you very much for the level of commitment and also for inspiring me and all the delegates of this conference. Distinguished senators, friends, and most importantly, esteemed JCI members. It is an honor for me to speak to you this evening at the opening ceremony of this outstanding conference. You all know that this is the first conference out of the 4 conferences that JCI is going to organize this year. And we all know that it's not easy to be the first to start. But I don't know, by the virtue of destiny, Argentina was chosen to host the first conference in 2010. In my memory as JCI member, I can tell you that this is one of the conferences where the level of promotion is so outstanding that every 2 or 3 days, I was receiving email inviting me to this conference, promoting the conference. And I had to tell, I think, EVP Michelle, that I thought I was JCI president and that the Constitution, by the virtue of the Constitution, I have to be in all the conferences. But please, these young guys and ladies, I'm talking about the COC, never took anything for granted. They made sure that they had to promote this conference. And I have no doubt that this conference is going to be successful. Once more, I would like us to acknowledge the commitment of the COC. Please, can we clap for the COC under the leadership of Matthias? (2010) is a wonderful year, very symbolic. 2010 is the beginning of a new decade. 2010 is also the beginning of the way we want to rethink this organization. We have been speaking about change. Please, let us bear in mind that when we talk about change, we are not going to change our values. We are not going to change our mission. We are not going to change our vision, but we need change. I've been very fortunate today to meet one of the outstanding leaders of this organization. He was Executive Vice President, I think in 1980. He finished his career as General Legal Counsel in 1982. Later on, he was minister in his country, Bolivia. He even ran for JCI presidency. And he told me, and I know because also from the history of the organization, there used to be 500,000 members. Can you believe that? Today, we are 200,000 members. And I was very inspired by all what he was telling me. And quickly, I called the Secretary General our GS Regional Edson Kodama, please, I know you are the memory of this organization. Come and listen. And he told us the strategy, what they did. I was so convinced because all what he was saying is what I believe. For the past 4 months, as your JCI president, I've traveled to 29 countries, meeting members, and trying as much as possible to motivate them. But what I've decided to do as JCI president this year, I've decided to challenge you, because we need to be humble, looking at the history of this organization. Before us, young men and women did better than us. Sometimes they were less educated, they had less means, but there were 500,000 members. Can you believe that? And they had a great impact in the world. So I want to challenge you. We can do that. We can even do better. That's why this year we spoke about the impact of one. Because we don't just want to criticize. We don't want to blame. We don't want to say bad guys are the others. We also want to tell you the way, showing the way. Because as leaders, our first responsibility is to have vision. My question to each member, most essentially the national president, what is your vision for your national organization? What is your vision for your country? What is your vision for your continent? Please bear in mind, this organization started in 1915. Our founder from history was less than 25 years old. I'm talking about Henry. He had a dream. He had a vision to start an organization that was going to contribute, that was going to serve, that was going to build, that was going to create positive change. 93 years after, the vision, the mission, and the principle of this organization are so relevant. I can tell you, as your president, that the world needs JCI. Now, who is JCI? Is it the 24 staff in St. Louis, Missouri, under the leadership of Edson Kodama? Or is it the 200,000 members around the world? Is it the world president, the executive vice president, and the 17 vice president, the treasurer and the legal counsel, and the 115 national president? I say no. JCI is a membership-based organization. And as a membership-based organization, it is our responsibility, individually and collectively, to make things happen. But I have good news for you. After 4 months, I've never been so positive. I've traveled around the world, seeing young people dreaming, good people, handsome men, pretty ladies, dreaming and creating positive change in their communities. I've traveled in some countries, like yesterday, arriving at 3 a.m., and you have more than 40 people traveling 300 kilometers to come and just welcome and say hello to the world president. So I've come to a conclusion. You have 2 worlds. Please, the people of the media should not get angry with me. You have the world of the media. When you watch television, you think the world is going to end today. When you listen to radio, you think the world is going to end today. When you go to internet, you think the world is going to end today. But please, believe me, as your president, I think the future of this world is bright. For one reason, because you have a group of people that have decided to not complain. They have decided to build, to contribute, and to make things happening. And for that reason, I'm encouraging each and every one. You spend your money, your time, your energy, traveling around to come here in Rosario. We came here to learn. We came here to meet, but we also came here to grow. But please, let me remind you the mission of JCI. Our mission is to provide development opportunity that empower young people to create positive change. In this mission, you have 2 parts. Opportunity, providing development opportunities. And when we talk about development opportunities in JCI, we all know the 4 areas of opportunities. But let me speak about the leadership. In JCI, we strongly believe that better leaders will create better society. The second pillar of our organization is social responsibility. And God knows that we need social responsible leaders. Young people that will not blame, young people that will not complain, young people that will fix, young people that will be solution, even when they are not part of the problem. The third pillar is entrepreneurship. We also know that there's financial crisis, there's economic crisis, and that more and more young people need to be entrepreneurs. They need to think, innovate, and create jobs, not only for themselves, but for others. The last pillar is fellowship. I have no doubt that we are going to have fun. But please, all these pillars are useless if we don't achieve what we call creating positive change, and that this year I've called impact. It takes just one person to make the difference. And this difference is not the world president. This difference is not the Secretary General of JCI. This difference will not be made by the Executive Vice President or the National President. This difference is going to be made by one individual. And most of the time, just an ordinary member. I want to tell the story of my son to conclude. Most of you that have traveled, I think, to 8 countries in Latin America and Americas, you know William. William is my son. He's 6 years old. This year, William will not see me because I have to travel to like 70 countries, making me to spend less than 3 days a month at home. When they asked William in school, what is your father doing? William tell the teacher, my father works in JCI, which is not true. I'm not Eson Kodama. I think I'm just a volunteer like you. But maybe you also know that for the past 11 years I'm an entrepreneur. But my son do not even know that I own a business as a social entrepreneur. He thinks the father works in JCI. Now when they asked him, what is your father doing in JCI? He said the father is traveling. Wow. So the next question, is your father a pilot? No. My father is not a pilot. My father, and please listen to me, he said it. My father is traveling around the world, changing the world. William is 6 years old, and I'm so proud of him. My question to you, I've impacted one person, my son. I said the impact of one is about your colleague, your family, your friends. It takes one person to make the difference. You don't need to be world president. The story I told you is the story of a father with a son. It has nothing to do with the world presidency. So I look forward to listening to your story for the past 4 days, because I have no doubt that in this crowd, I have great stories. You have great leaders, outstanding women, and outstanding young men that have decided to be the change they want to see in the world. Thank you very much, and God bless America. Thank you.